Remember that exact moment in the summer of 1999? You were waiting for your mom to get off the phone just so you could fire up the noisy 56K modem? You were hunting for that one specific track you heard on the radio. You opened a little blue and green program, typed in a search, and suddenly you were a hacker. It was peak 90s freedom, the absolute Wild West. But behind that digital magic, two bored teenagers in a dorm room accidentally built a global cartel, triggering a multi-billion-dollar war with the biggest rock bands on the planet. Today, we are talking about the exact moment an entire generation realized the internet had zero rules and the piece of software that started it all. This is Retro Rewind, brought to you by the historic Regent Theater right here in Wellington. This week, they are showing Toy Story 5. Go check them out, grab a massive bucket of that fresh popcorn, and enjoy the show. Support local, support the Regent. Let's set the scene. It is 1999. Think about where you kept that one family computer. We all thought we were absolute masterminds just because we knew how to use Alta Vista and Ask Jeeves. But over at Northeastern University, there was an actual mastermind, an 18-year-old named Sean Fanning. And he had a roommate who was constantly complaining because every time he tried to download an MP3 off one of these early internet sites, the links were completely dead. So how do two 18-year-olds fix dead links? Just build a better website? That is where it gets interesting, because they do not build a website at all. Fanning thinks, what if I just make a program where we link everyone's hard drives together? You want a song? You just grab it straight from some dude in Ohio. He drops out of college, teams up with another teenager named Sean Parker, and they build this little peer-to-peer monster. Looking back, it is completely insane that an entire generation willingly connected their family computers to thousands of random strangers' hard drives. He named it Napster, which was his high school nickname because he had frizzy hair. Sean's Uncle John actually bought him his first computer, and because of that, Uncle John takes a 70% stake in this new company right out of the gate. What a scumbag move. So now you have these kids, a shady uncle, and suddenly 80 million people trying to download the next episode by Dr. Dre. Wait, 80 million people? How did the internet even handle that much traffic back then? It didn't. That is the gritty reality of the 90s internet. We look back at Napster like it was pure magic. We felt like hackers, but it was absolute torture. We were on 56K dial-up modems. If you wanted that single 4 megabyte song by Dr. Dre, it would literally take you an hour or more to download. You might even leave the family PC running overnight with the modem connected just to get one album. And heaven help you if your mom picked up the phone in the kitchen to call Aunt Linda, because it would completely kill your connection at 99%. It was a lawless wasteland, and we were all just stealing from each other slower than Forrest Gump when he was a kid. You would wait hours for a song only to realize it was a mislabeled track or a terrible radio rip with the local DJ screaming over the outro. The music industry completely panics. You used to have to go to the mall and pay $20 for a CD that had one good song and 11 filler tracks. Now, kids are bypassing the register entirely. The record labels are furious, but the band that actually brings the hammer down is Metallica. In 2000, Metallica is working on a song called I Disappear for the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack. It is not even finished. Suddenly, Lars Ulrich hears his unfinished, unreleased song playing on the damn radio. He traces it back and realizes the entire Metallica catalog is just sitting on Napster for free. This is the exact moment the Wild West of the internet hit a brick wall. Lars Ulrich from Metallica was so incredibly mad about Napster, and petty if you ask me, that he did not just sue the company. He literally tracked down the usernames of the fans who were downloading his music. Lars printed out over 300,000 usernames, stacked the papers in giant cardboard boxes, drove to the Napster headquarters, and physically delivered the boxes to get those specific fans banned, just short of a year after it started. Imagine being a 14-year-old kid sitting in Wellington and a multi-millionaire rock star personally narcs on you. It was completely baffling, incredibly petty, and wildly out of touch with how the world was changing. It was all downhill from there. But as much as everyone gets nostalgic for the aesthetic of the early internet, the reality of downloading a file in the 90s was a dark game of roulette. You would wait 3 hours for a Limp Bizkit MP3, finally double-click it, and it would not be Fred Durst. It would be a computer-destroying Trojan virus, or that weird 2-minute audio clip of Bill Clinton saying, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." It was chaos, it was frustrating, and looking back, it was absolutely hilarious. Keep it rad and peace.